The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus told his disciples this parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out at dawn to hire laborers for his vineyard. After agreeing with them for the usual daily wage, he sent them into his vineyard. Going out about 9 o'clock, he saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and he said to them, "You too go into my vineyard, and I will give you what is just." So they went off. And he went out again around noon, and around 3 o'clock, and did likewise. Going out about 5 o'clock, he found others standing around, and he said to them, "Why do you stand here idle all day?" They answered, "Because no one has hired us." He said to them, "You too go into my vineyard." When it was evening, the owner of the vineyard said to the foreman, "Summon the laborers and give them their pay, beginning with the last and ending with the first." When those who came had started about 5 o'clock came, each received the usual daily wage. So when the first came, they thought they would receive more. But each of them also got the usual wage. And on receiving it, they grumbled against the landowner, saying, "These last ones worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, who bore the day's burden and the heat." He said to one of them in reply, "My friend, I am not cheating you. Did you not agree with me for the usual daily wage? Take what is yours and go. What if I wish to give this last one the same as you? Or am I not free to do as I wish with my own money? Are you envious because I am generous? Thus the last will be first, and the first will be last." The Gospel of the Lord. My first priestly assignment was on the Wind River Indian Reservation, and I was fond of those years. It was a great experience. A lot of beautiful people and things, but a lot of hardship too. And I really eventually I kind of thought really that the greatest drug around there was idle time. Like idle time, not good for man's soul. The devil rides on an idle horse, right? So, I mean, yeah, a lot of hardships, but man, that just begins it. You sit around twiddling your thumbs, and then you just start going down bad thinking, and you get yourself in trouble. So that was evident in that situation. It's been evident in my life, and I think it's evident in the world that idle time is not healthy in general. And that's what stands out to me in today's gospel. Like there's so much here, you could take it in many different ways. But I think the landowner, what bugs him is that people are standing around idle all day in the parking lot. So, he come around at 5 and he goes, "Why are you standing here idle all day?" And so that's what stands out to me. He wants to put him to work because he knows it's good for man to work. It's not good to be standing around. So it brings me to 2021 when I get a little bit perturbed, whatever, at this whole idea of the government paying people not to work. Now, unemployment, whatever. I mean, there's a place and a need for that stuff, but there's this emphasis today of paying people so much that it actually discourages them to work, to go find a job. And I'm like, it's one thing, it's a waste of money, whatever. That's a whole nother matter. What bugs me is that is unconducive to the flourishing of the human person, to pay somebody not to work and sit at home and play video games all day. That's not good for society. And I get the situations, but the government just like beating on us. I get the vibe that they're just trying to kind of, hey man, you be dependent on us. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. I'm like, that's not good for us as individuals, and it's not good for society. The landowner knows it, and I think the King of Kings knows it too. He created us to be active, constructive, creative. You think in the garden, the very first commandment, or I don't know if it was the first commandment, but even before the fall, Adam was called to till the garden, to tend to the garden. The same with us. I mean, it's good for us. It's healthy for us to be active. According to our state in life, right? It varies throughout the ball game of what we can do and all that. But I think healthy activity is good for our flourishing, whatever that looks like on you. So I would encourage all of us to avoid the temptation to sit idle all day. Like, probably because of the fall, a work ethic is not easy to come by. We have to work at it. So avoid the temptation to sit around idle. Let's be active, constructive, creative for the glory of the Lord and our own flourishing. It's healthy for us. So let's learn from our Lord today's parable to get out there and get to work.